Hello everyone, it is Bryan from Asante Capital Management, and over the next few minutes I wanted to go over the 7 things that you should consider tax-wise before December 31st. Now most of us think about taxes around probably March and April, but at that time we've already missed the opportunity to make any adjustments to our tax situation for that calendar year. The first thing is to consider whether you want to trigger taxable income on purpose. If your income this year was markedly lower than normal, perhaps you were unemployed for a little bit or you're on maternity leave, you may actually want to create some taxable income to take advantage of a preferred marginal tax rate. You can do this by pulling money out of a RIF, pulling money out of an RRSP, or even triggering capital gains. For retired people, have a second read of my January 20th, 2020 article titled Triggering Tax on Purpose as a strategy to pay less of tax over your lifetime. The second thing to consider is whether to put capital losses to work. So capital losses is where you have a non-registered investment that is below what you paid for it. So if you bought a bank stock perhaps at $1,000 and it's worth $800 today, you could sell it and retrieve a $200 loss. Now what's important is that capital loss can actually go back 3 calendar years. So if you made a big gain a few years ago, you can use this loss to offset that. So if you sold a cottage or sold a big investment, this could be a great strategy. If you don't have anything in mind, that's okay, because the capital loss can actually be carried forward indefinitely. The third item is around significant TFSA withdrawals. If you were planning a significant TFSA withdrawal in the coming months, I would recommend doing it before the year end, before December 31st. Why is this? Well, it's about recontribution. You can only add back money into the TFSA the subsequent calendar year. So if you took money out in January as an example, you would have to wait a full 11 plus months to put it back in. But if you took the money out in December, you could quickly put it back in a month later. The fourth item is around registered education savings plans, or RESPs, and registered disability savings plans, or RDSPs. Consider making contributions to these plans before December 31st. Here, the government does supply grants, but they are age dependent. So for the RESP, you might get grant up until the age of 16 or 17, and in the RDSP, it is the age of 49. So if you don't get it in this calendar year, you will miss out on that free government grant that comes in. The fifth item is take advantage of the $2,000 pension income credit. If you are 65 or older, but not drawing a pension or not drawing out of a RIF, consider starting a RIF and taking out $2,000 a year. Why is this? Well, you receive a 15% pension income credit on the first $2,000 that comes out. So this is a $300 savings on your taxes every year. Number 6, charitable donations. If you are going to make a significant donation in the next couple months, consider doing it before year end. Because even when you sit down to do your taxes and discover that it may not be optimal against that calendar year, a charitable donation can be saved and applied for up to 5 years into the future. The seventh item is consider making a final RRSP contribution. Now this applies to individuals who are age 71 today and don't have a younger spouse. The thing to remember is that RRSP contributions can be held indefinitely. So just because you don't need that RRSP contribution today, you may want to have a tax deduction in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So think about whether you might be selling a cottage or selling non-registered investments. You might have a high tax year in the coming years, and a tax receipt from an RRSP contribution could prove very useful. I know, November and December don't feel like tax season. But it is important to take a few minutes to consider whether there are opportunities to save on your taxes this year. So click on the PDF here and use these 7 items as a checklist. Go through them and consider whether they may make sense. And if you have any questions, please give me a call.